Hello, patrons on Patreon. This is a very special video just from Josh and myself to you.
That's right. This is only being seen by patrons. We're not putting this on the regular YouTube channel. You know, our Patreon has grown a huge amount over the last year. There are over 2,200 right now, and it's amazing. It's really blown us away. There are some things we want to announce to you guys and talk about here, and this is the first time we've really ever done this, but we're going to just talk to you directly.
Yep. So the first big thing, you guys may have seen this on our videos, on game nights, potentially on the podcast, but we have another line of merchandise coming out. It's going to be another limited edition sale like everything else, like these two playmats you see in front of you right here. This time, though, we made tokens from game nights. And on these tokens are not just creature types and creatures, but in fact, your favorite game nights, including Josh and myself. We got the Professor, Mel Lee, Craig Blanchett, Infect King, Megan Ann Maria, Melissa DeTora, Cassius Marsh, all emblazoned as awesome creatures across Magic's history. There are 10 of them total, and when you buy these on Kickstarter, you're gonna get 4 of each, so a 40 card token deck.
Yes, but we are still going to be honoring the Patreon rewards. So if you are eligible through Patreon, you will get foil versions of all of the tokens, and you'll still get 40 foil versions. I mean, 40 foil cards.
Yeah, total. Yep.
And
4 of each.
Yeah, and also if we hit that stretch goal on Kickstarter of 1,000 premium sets, foil sets sold, then we'll be signing those premium sets. Then we will also sign the Patreon versions of those foil cards as well. If the stretch goal on Kickstarter isn't hit, then what that means is in the shipping process, they won't ever be sent directly to us. They'll just go straight to our fulfillment company. So we can't sign the patron ones in that case, but we're hopeful that we'll hit that 1,000 goal, and the patrons will also get signed tokens from Jimmy and I. Yeah,
absolutely. And more importantly, I know the system's a little confusing, and that's what we want to talk about in terms of how you can be eligible to get free merchandise from us if you are a qualifying patron. Now, we won't go into the exact details here, because I don't want to misspeak. We'll be putting out a text update or something that basically really explains how the system worked before. More importantly, how we're going to be shifting the system to be more feasible and manageable by us in the future after this Kickstarter.
Yeah, to be clear, under the old system, if you were eligible or going to be eligible for merchandise, just like the last couple of playmats, then you will be getting the tokens. We're not changing anything for these tokens. Now, once these tokens get sent out to the patrons, at that point, we are going to be changing our reward system. A big part of it, honestly, is just that we never envisioned having such a big Patreon.
Seriously.
And so keeping track of it, we just didn't set up a system very well. It's our fault to sort of keep tabs on it. And so as each piece of merchandise comes out, it's been like a bigger and bigger headache for us to figure out who's eligible, who gets what. We're going to streamline that, and we're going to make it a lot more simplified so it's easier for us to keep track of and easier for you guys to know if and when you're going to get free merchandise. So again, once these tokens go out, look for an update to how that system works. It's not going to affect any of the other rewards, just the merchandise stuff.
Yep, totally. Oh man, these look great though, so make sure you head on over to Kickstarter. Again, we have the non-premium sets, which are just these but not foil, and then the premium sets are all of the tokens in foil, and the foiling looks great. In fact, these look probably some of the best looking foils I've ever seen card form wise. Like, they're same size Magic cards, they'll fit inside sleeves, they're gonna look awesome on the battlefield.
You know that we are crazy about, we're obsessive, as you might say, about quality, and doing these tokens, we were no different. We really tried out a lot of different companies, got a ton of samples.
Yeah.
I looked at foils from like 10 different kinds of cards to find the one we liked, so it's definitely worth it.
And they don't curl, very importantly.
Yeah, look at them. They're all flat still.
Nice and flat, yeah. Still.
Shots fired.
Oh, you know.
Okay. The next thing we want to talk about, also very exciting, and this is available only to patrons.
Yes.
We are going to be doing the thing again. We are going to let the patrons have a shot at being a guest on an episode of Game Nights.
Yep, we did this last year, and the response we got was out of control. It was amazing seeing just how many people wanted to be on the show, and we held an audition for it, and that's what we're going to be doing again this time. We made the announcement on the most recent Game Nights episode, where actually we brought on a patron of the show, Jacob, and trust me, you're gonna watch this episode and you'll understand why it's so awesome. Jacob did an amazing job, and he had a blast when he came out here, and we really want to replicate that and do it again with another one of you.
Yeah, you guys really should thank Jacob, because he came out and was so much fun and was so great on the show that we were like, geez, we should do that again.
Yeah, ASAP.
Yeah, exactly. So you're all gonna have a chance It's basically a similar process to last time. We're gonna have a link in this video that links you to a page. There's going to be some rules and regulations. There's just some legal stuff that we have to cover our bases. Make sure you check all of that. But basically, once again, we're looking for an audition video from you that's no longer than 3 minutes long. It can be shorter. Don't be 3:01 or you're automatically disqualified. We're very serious about that part because we last time got over 400 submissions. I think over 500 submissions actually. And so if every one of those is 10 seconds longer, that's a lot more time. Just don't do that.
And it won't make a big difference, honestly. What we are looking for in this audition, we're gonna ask you to talk about a deck you could play on the show. Now, it is not necessarily the deck you will be playing on the show, but rather we just wanna see who are you? Who are you on camera? Who are you in real life? What's your passion for Magic cards? What does it look like when you talk about Magic cards? What would it look like if we were to be interviewing you, for instance, on game nights, or if you were sitting at the table? That's what we're looking for. Again, you could be talking about a deck that has 1,000 islands in it, right? But if you were able to talk about it eloquently and with energy and with the upbeat attitude that we're looking for, then that's worth it to us. That's what we're looking for.
Deck with 1,000 islands, that'd be an OP.
And also illegal.
Yeah, also not legal. Yeah, we learned that last time. I think people got really nervous about what deck am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
Actually, the deck you're discussing is just a means to have you talk about something that you're passionate about so we can get a read on your camera presence and how you would be if we picked you for the show. I also want to say, I love all the edited stuff, and people came up with like interesting like infomercial things and even little short films and things like that. And those are awesome. If you want to send those in, we love to watch them. But the thing is, you'll notice that last time, Jacob, who we picked, he just was sitting on the couch talking to the camera. And honestly, that's how we would rather that your audition video go if you're actually trying to get on the show, because it's very hard to tell when something is heavily edited whether or not what did you edit out? Like,
did you edit out the something awkward, something that didn't work? You know, I've done a lot of auditions as an actor, and casting directors, when you are sending in self-tapes, they don't want any cuts.
Nope.
They want it to see your face, your take on the scene, whatever you're doing. And that's because they need to know who you are. So if you're editing a lot of stuff to hide mistakes and all that, it's not going to be in your favor. Now, it's not to say that we didn't enjoy like the crazy infomercial stuff. Someone sent in them dressed as a member from Kiss last time. You know, we had a bunch of really amazing and fun entries. Yeah. But again, if you're serious about being on the show, the audition is about finding out who you are, and you're displaying that through your audition, your read on camera.
Yeah, we're not trying to hire an editor. We're trying to hire an actor. Not exactly. An on-camera talent person.
On-camera talent, yeah.
Actually, well, I mean, we should talk about the thing too.
I guess that's the last thing to talk about. Again, if you guys have questions about the auditions, we'll try and be as transparent as possible, as well as post out more tech stuff. And again, the Patreon is the #1 place to read all of that and to keep up to date on exactly what to do, the do's and don'ts.
Follow the link below. It'll also have the deadline of when you'll have to enter by to be eligible. I said we weren't hiring an editor, but that's actually not true. As I said, I was like, oh, dang, we are. But so if you hadn't heard, we are looking for somebody to help us out here at the Command Zone channel. That would be on game nights, on extra turns, on the podcast, future content that we would like to do, but we're just looking for more hands on deck so that we can pull it off.
Hanging out with our dogs.
Hanging out with our dogs, hanging out with Terry and DJ and Murph and
Ashlyn, me.
Everybody. So here's the thing. We're looking for somebody with motion graphics and or video editing experience. We don't need a ton of experience, honestly. Like, if you have a lot, that's great too, but it's not a requirement that you are like a professional editor for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Mostly, we're looking for somebody who is excited about Magic, excited about making content, does have some experience, but most importantly, is willing and able to learn.
And relocate as well to Los Angeles, because this is the kind of job where we could technically do it over the internet, but it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for someone to come into the office, and so that we can work with them closely and really be productive and get as much done as possible here.
Yeah, absolutely. We just found that working remotely, you just lose a lot and it costs you a bunch of time. And because we're going to be training somebody specifically how to cut something like game nights, which is very intensive, it's just, we got to be in the same room with that person. So either be in LA or be willing to come here, have a little bit or a lot of video editing and or motion graphics experience. And if you meet those criteria, then you can just email us, use the Patreon email or the regular one, and say, I want to join the Command Zone team, and send us your resume and your reel.
Yes, the more you can send us, the better. And of course, again, you know, it's a job application, so treat it as such.
Yeah. So we're going to have auditions coming in. We're going to have job applications coming in.
We're going to be sending these out, these tokens out.
We got a lot going on, everybody, and that is just the start for this year.
Yes, but more importantly, you patrons are the, usually the first and best place that we go to when it comes to this sort of stuff. Our Discord has been popping off. It's been great interacting with everyone. Recently, everyone submitted ideas for their favorite songs that match each of the guilds in Ravnica. And there's just a lot going on. We want to interact with you guys more and give back to the people that give us the most. And again, the patrons are by far our most important supporters and fans. So we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, we say it all the time, but it really is true. Without you guys, there really isn't any of this.
Yeah,
so,
there's no incentive to be doing this stuff, to be hiring more editors, to be expanding and growing and all that. And we want to find someone from you as well to join game nights for an episode. That's a part of us giving back.
Yeah, so send in those auditions. Look forward to the tokens, and we'll talk to you on Discord.
Yeah, see you there.
Peace.